G'day guys, how's it going? Welcome back of course to the Time Bomb channel, and I hope all is good and excellent in your part of the world. Watch review today of the Triwa Sub-Ocean. This is the deep blue, reference TF0202. Triwa, just in case you were wondering, are a Swedish brand with all of their watches designed with a purpose and a message, if you like. This one then is made from recycled ocean plastics, with the case body and the strap coming from those. I probably should have done a video on this a couple of months ago because to me it's an entirely a summer watch. And yeah, it's grey and rainy outside, so really the wrong time of year to be perhaps, thinking about purchasing one of these. Let's just pause and zoom in a fraction. So, I mean, yeah, what drew me to the watch is instantaneously the visuals of it. I think it's a very good looking watch. And then secondly, as I say, that concept of using ocean plastics is something that I kind of like as an ex-diver. I've supported many campaigns on, cleanups and the use of ocean recycled or repurposed, ocean plastics. Coming back to the watch, though, in its sense is that quite oddly, these things seem to come up quite regularly on eBay as charity auctions, and this is where I got this one. I think I paid around £35 instead of the retail price, which is I think is around 130, £140. So if you're interested, check out eBay, as I say, for charity auctions. Brand new watches of these. These then, speckage wise, it's 40 mils across. But again, as you can see, the bezel is quite thick and large. So it actually drops the dial aperture down to just around 28 mils. So it's, whilst large, as I say, the dial itself does shrink. It's around then 11 mils deep and about 49 mils north to south, and sitting then on 20 mil lugs. Let me just throw it on wrist. Yeah, and so there for reference, so my wrist is about 7¼ inch. And as you can see, I think it wears slightly smaller than a standard 40, and I think that's partly due to the lightness of those materials. I mean, it weighs. I mean, I think, did I weigh it? Yeah, it weighs in just under 48 grams. And I think probably most of the weight is actually in the steel keepers here, because the watch head itself weighs virtually nothing. So as I say, ideal summer beach fun watch. I think as well that the specs that they've the dimensions that they've chosen on this mean that it's going to fit the wrists of gents, ladies and teens, again, so that it's quite all appealing in that sense. 100 meters worth of watery decency. You get, let me just zoom in a fraction, you then get mineral up top, mineral crystal on the under there, probably as you would expect. Buzzing away inside, then you have a, sorry, I just realised I've still got the doodad in there, so we should get it working. You were probably wondering why it's not moving, so there you go. So buzzing away inside is a Myota quartz, and as I see, you can see there you've got a push pull action here, and then I can never see through the camera. Have you got a quick set date? There's the hand action, solid, decent. And yeah, there's your quick set date as well. But as you can see, that date window is minuscule, and I really don't know why they bother making them so small. If they're going to make it that small, well then just don't bother. Where was I going? The dial, again, I really like. I just think that the colours, and then the use of the swirls on there, the time for the oceans around the rehort there. I think, as I say, the looks on this one absolutely excellent. I think they've done a really nice design job of it. The bezel, as I mentioned before, is very large. The knurling around the side there is fairly decent, and the clicks are buzzy and very fun. Have a listen. So yeah, it's not necessarily particularly refined, but I mean, I think, yeah, more just sort of reflective of the materials that are being used in this case. And again, as you can see, there's a huge amount of back play in there. But again, as I say, I paid 35 quid for this, so I'm probably willing to forgive it a little bit of that. And that's primarily where it sits between those, spacings. But I think, yeah, they probably could have tightened it up a little bit. As I said, keep mentioning, it's not a dive tool watch. It's a fun concept beach watch. You then get, a press in back here. I kind of would have preferred a screwing back, but I'm wondering, you know, whether the use of that plastic meant that, you know, you can't actually use a steel screwing back, because it would probably, you know, fur up those materials and strip it a little bit. So again, that's probably why design choices have been made there. The other thing I wanted to talk about with the dial, while I was thinking about it, is the legibility. I think that the contrasting three colours hands used here, again, just make it absolutely superb, very, very clear, and legibility is spot on. The blue of the sides here is, you know, is that nice uniform blue, and I think it works well. And again, you know, if you want to sort of think about other brands that are making watches out of, you know, plastic, bio, ceramic and things, I think, you know, this is quite robust. It's going to hold up well, and I like the fact that, you know, it's telling you exactly what it is. If this blue version is too bluey for you, they do come in a couple of other colors. There's this very, very, very bright Nemo orange here, a perhaps slightly more subdued octopus black. You get then quite a fun green turtle, kind of cool. And then lastly, a real mix of colors here, what they refer to as the orca. So the company was set up a few years ago. I think there was a notification on the box, wasn't there? What was it, 2007? And they were kind of almost the victims, you know, of their own success, in the sense that they, you know, were super popular, sold bucket loads of watches, and then the problems started with loads and loads of complaints coming about water ingress and appalling customer service. The feedback from the brand recently seems to be that they've made some significant changes internally, and they're now sort of on a third go at things. So I really wish them a huge amount of success. As I say, what drew me to this one is the resourced plastics, and I think as well, one of the things that I have to do with this is I'm going to take it swimming, you know, really give it a little bit of a test, because as I say, the build quality on this one is the biggest question that I have on it. As I say, looks, price, fantastic, but can it hold up to, you know, to some simple basic use? So I'll bash it around for 6 months, and then I'll do a little bit of a follow-up, so that I can, or if it's sooner than that, I get the feedback sooner than that, I will let you guys know. Anyway, thanks as always for your time and for your view, and we'll catch you in the next watch vid. Cheers, guys.